Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Today we are going to be learning our new high frequency words from lesson 18. Yesterday we reviewed the phonics, the AI and AY sound to make the long A, and you learned your new spelling words. So today we are doing our new sight words, which you can see here behind us. Let me move out of the way and let's begin. So please read these along with me, okay? So the first one we have is food. Read the sentences with me also. All kinds of food can grow in a garden. Next one. First, read with me. The seeds are planted in the soil first. And soil, if you don't know, is dirt, but it's dirt that is good, has nutrients that is good for growing food in. Number 3, ground. Keep the ground near the plants wet. Sometimes pumpkins grow very big. Under. Carrots grow under the ground. Did you know that? You probably did. We are going to take a look at this in a little bit more depth later on because I think it's very interesting. Number 6, these. These tomatoes are ready to be picked. Right. You can pick pea pods right off of the vine. And remember that right is a homonym, right? It's a homophone. This right is meaning here like right off the vine, or it could be your right hand, or, oh, you're right. That kind of right, meaning correct, okay? The other kind of write, like to write a letter, is W-R-I-T-E. You all know that. I'm just reminding you. Number 8, your. What will you plant in your garden? Good. So let's take a look at these words one more time, very quickly. Food, first, ground, sometimes, under, these, right, and your. Now you will be writing sentences with these a little bit later on. And you know, I usually don't tell you this, but if you can come up with a sentence that can use 2 words in one sentence, you can do that so you have less sentences to write. So for instance, if you wanted to combine 2 or even 3 of these words in one sentence, that's 1 or 2 sentences less that you have to write. Just make sure you underline the words, okay? But we'll get back to that later. Okay, so like I mentioned yesterday, we are going through these couple lessons very quickly because we've really done a lot of work with this already, and you guys already know this. So there's something new that comes up in the workbook, and it's about contractions, but we did contractions, right? We did a lot about contractions. So you have all of the notes already in your journals, but the workbook focuses on 2 contractions. So I just want to review them quickly. The contraction with apostrophe LL at the end, and that stands for will, right? Will is in the future, and it's an affirmative, like I will eat breakfast tomorrow morning. It's something you are saying is going to happen in the future. So I will, how do we make that the contraction form? I better make myself smaller. I'll make myself smaller, right? There's your answer. I will becomes I'll. We cross out the WI and put the apostrophe in its place. You will becomes you'll. You'll eat breakfast in the morning. He will becomes he'll. And it sounds like the heel on your foot, or heal like to cure or to get better. So he will becomes he'll. He'll eat breakfast in the morning. She will, she'll eat breakfast in the morning. We'll eat breakfast in the morning. And they'll eat breakfast in the morning. The other contraction is apostrophe D, and it stands for would. Now, would is like I would go to the park, but it's raining, right? It's something that if you could do it, hypothetically, if you could do it, you would, but for some reason you can't, so you won't. I would becomes I'd. You would becomes you'd. He would, he'd. She would, she'd go to the park, but she can't. We would, we'd. And they would, they'd go to the park if they could, but they can't, so they won't. Okay, that was a very quick review, but we've done it before. You know it. I just want to refresh your memories before the one little workbook page that you have to do about that. Okay, so after this, I wanted to just play a video for you that I thought was really interesting. It uses one of your sight words, so that's why I chose it, under, right? I think it was number 5 maybe when it said carrots grow under the ground. So I thought, why don't we take a look at that? Because I'm guessing that you all knew that. Maybe you don't, but carrots do grow under the ground. They're called a root vegetable. It means that it grows under the ground. Now, it has leaves that come out above the ground, but the part, you can eat the leaves actually, but the part that we really eat is the carrot part that grows under the ground. There are other root vegetables as well. Beets, onions, potatoes. So I wanted to take a deeper look at it though, right? We know it, but what does that look like? And how do they come out of the ground? And then how do they get on our plate? So the video was taken in UK, which stands for the United Kingdom, which is in Europe. So you will hear that their English, it's British English. So it sounds a little bit different. You'll hear an accent different from the accent that our American accent that we have. But you will be able to understand it, all right? And there are a word or two that will pop up on the screen that they spell differently in British English than we do in American English, but that's okay. It wasn't worth not watching the video for different spelling, right? It's not wrong, it's just a different way of doing it. So enjoy the video and learn a lot. I'll see you at the end.
Crunchy carrots from farm to fork. A carrot is a root vegetable, which means that it grows underneath the ground. The part we eat is the root of the plant, which is where all its energy is stored in the form of starch and sugar. Other root vegetables include parsnips, beetroot, and even onions. Although we always think of carrots as bright orange, did you know you could also grow yellow, white, red, and even purple carrots? You can also eat the leafy green tops of the plant too, although it's best to cook them a little bit first. To grow carrots, the land must be ploughed, formed into ridges, and then the stones are removed by a machine like this. Because if carrots grow around stones, they can form some rather unusual shapes. Then, between December and May, the tiny carrot seeds are planted into the furrows. They grow best in light, sandy soil and are planted sparingly to give each plant enough space and sunlight to grow fully. It takes between 12 and 16 weeks for different varieties of carrots to grow to their full size, but this can depend on the weather. The ideal conditions are warm days and nights, along with plenty of sunshine and rain, which is why they grow so well in our British climate. Once the carrots are ready to be harvested, a machine like this one, called a top lifter harvester, lifts them out of the soil. This process is usually started at midnight when the temperature is cooler. This helps to keep the carrots fresh and crisp. Around 700,000 tonnes of carrots are harvested each year in the UK. That's the equivalent weight of nearly 4,000 blue whales. Once harvested, the carrots are transported to a factory where they are flushed out of the trailers by huge flumes of water. The carrots are then separated from any soil, stones or weeds, which may have been accidentally picked up. Next, they're washed and polished, and then sorted by size and quality. This machine is called a hydro cooler. Inside, the carrots are being plunged into ice-cold water, which keeps them nice and fresh. Finally, they're checked for quality one last time before being packed. Once packed, they're ready to be transported to the shops. It takes an average of just 36 hours from the moment the carrot is pulled from the ground to arriving in your local store, ready for you to take home and enjoy for your dinner.
Okay, so did you enjoy the video? I hope that you learned a lot. I thought it was pretty cool to see how those trucks go around, the tractors go around, and they pull the carrots out, so many at one time. I always imagined somebody physically pulling a carrot out of the ground. I didn't know that there were these trucks that came around. And did you hear what hour they go and they typically start pulling the carrots out of the ground? Midnight. Who would have guessed? I wouldn't have thought that, but they said that it's the coolest, so it keeps the carrots fresh. And very, very interesting. There's always more that we can learn. Okay, so next you guys are going to write your spelling words in your notebooks, okay? I will, after I explain all the instructions, please pause the screen. You'll see your spelling list come up like every week. So please write the spelling words on the left side, right, the left page, and on the right side, I am going to send you, again, the word strips that you can cut out and paste or tape into your notebook so you don't have to write the high frequency word. Only write the spelling words, and the high frequency words you will paste or tape in your notebook like you did on Tuesday. After that, please get your journals, not your spelling notebook now, but your journal, and write one sentence for each sight word, okay? So you have 8 sight words: first, food, ground, right, sometimes, these, under, and yours. They're the ones that I am sending you the strips for to tape in your notebook. And like I said earlier, if you want to write 2 or even 3 of your words in one sentence, that's fine. You just have to make sure that you use every word in some way. After that, very quick, you have 2 workbook pages. I bet this will take you all of about 3 minutes. So let me make myself a little bigger, a lot bigger. Okay, so you have this page. This is page 32. It's about your high frequency words. Okay, so you just have to circle the correct high frequency word. You have a choice of 2. That will take you no time. And the other one is page 37. And this is what I was talking about the contractions. Okay, so here are the words on the top: heed, shield, eyed, they'll, and weed. There are only 5 sentences. You need to fill in the proper word. Please just make sure that your handwriting is very nice and neat. And that's it, okay? After that, you are done. So if you have extra time, I will put your new sight words on the Willow. If you have extra time, go ahead and do it. If not, that's okay. The idea is it's a way to practice, and I think from what I hear, most of you enjoy it and it's fun, and I want learning to be fun from home. So I will make myself smaller. Ta-da! Okay, so it is notebook time. So everybody get out your notebooks. I am going to put the next screen up. Remember, you are only writing these in your notebook. On the left-hand page and on the right-hand page, these numbers 1 through 8, you will tape or paste in from what I send you, okay? I will see everybody tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.